Welcome to Linkronicity, where your journey and destiny link. I'm Stacey, Kumagai, your linkologist, and I'm here to help you link your life. Today we're going to be talking about your people-pleasing link. And today's video comes to you courtesy by way of a question from Doug of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hey Doug, thanks for writing in. He writes, "Hey Stacey, I have a question about friendship. I recently made some new friends and they're cool and we hang out a lot, but it seems when I hang out with them to make them happy, I'm left feeling not so happy. Don't get me wrong, they're really nice guys, but I don't know how to fix this. Help. Thanks, Doug." Okay, Doug, this is a common one for a lot of people. And I want to address this because this people-pleasing link is attached to acceptance and boundaries and all kinds, probably several of the videos in this entire channel, but we're going to break it down a little bit to help you out here, because I know this is a tough spot, especially when you make new friends. So you talk about how when you hang out with them to make them happy, you are left unhappy. That's not a good thing, Doug. You're supposed to be happy too. That's what friends are for, right? You're supposed to hang out, have a good time, you know, whatever you guys are doing, you know, whether you're getting a game or you know, you're going watching a movie or whatever you guys are doing, you're supposed to be having a good time too. So I'm going to boil this down to a couple of questions. Do you say yes to activities that don't jive with who you are? Like, are you curious? Do you want to learn new things? Are your interests different from theirs? And maybe that's why, because there's not really a piece of you in the friendship circle. You know what I mean? Lots of times what happens when you get into a group situation with friends, and I get a lot of this from college students and people who've grown up together, and the groups tends to expand, what ends up happening is the dynamics change. And when that happens is you lose a piece of who you are because you're kind of going along to be in the group with the friendship to do the activity, but the activity may not be who you are anymore. And in your case, you're talking about making new friends. Well, maybe these new friends don't really know who Doug is. Who is Doug? Who is he? Who is he, and how does he show up in these situations? And more importantly, are your interests aligned with their interests, or are you trying to expand your interests? So it's like, say like maybe they're into a sport that you're not into, like maybe they like soccer and you're more of a football guy or something, or whatever. Maybe your interests are different. If you're trying to expand your awareness of the different types of things that you can learn about and grow as a human and whatever, and expand your leisure time, that's cool. But if you're not interested in doing that and their interests are different from yours, you're going to be left feeling somewhat, I don't know, dissatisfied or disappointed or depleted or not really fulfilled by the friendship. Fulfilled. So when we deal with people pleasing and fulfillment, these two links, they need to be friends if you're going to actually be doing it for the reasons of camaraderie. If you're only doing the people pleasing to try to fit in, now it's drawing a fine line of dysfunction. And when we deal on the fine line or tightrope walking of dysfunction, it leaves us unhappy. So then I have to ask you this: is this an unhealthy friendship circle? Like, I mean, maybe you're unhappy. Like, do they like joke around a lot and say negative things? Are you like the newbie, and so therefore you're getting picked on or bullied or whatever? I don't know what goes on in your friendship circle, but if you're leaving unhappy and you're trying to please them and accommodate them so they can be happy, then we need to look at the dysfunctional factor in this as to if you are people pleasing in order to have friends, or if you haven't accepted you so that they can accept you as to who you really are. Now, that's very complicated, polluted, kind of funky dynamic here, but I wanted to bring up all of the issues because I can't answer this question one-dimensionally, because it's a multi-dimensional question as to your happiness, your fulfillment, and whether the people-pleasing thing is more of a generosity of spirit or if it's your own sabotage to be putting yourself in these situations, so then you have a finger of blame as to why you're unhappy and you don't have friends or something. You know what I mean? And this happens a lot with people who are trying to navigate their lives in their social circles and try to have a good time. But here's the thing, here's the key, here's the solution to all of it. when you step into a friendship circle, you need to always be your authentic self, no matter who you are. Because you can't be accepted as who you are if you're not being who you are. So if you're going into a friendship circle pretending to like something that you really don't give a you-know-what about, then you're not honoring your authentic self. If you're not honoring your authentic self, then you're unhappy in the situation because you feel robbed somehow or chipped somehow of the experience that you can have in a friendship circle, because there's a piece of you that doesn't exist in it because you're not being real with who you are. You're just being the social guy who's trying to fit in to this crowd. And that's when you need to take a step back and take a look at your friendships and how healthy they are. The bottom line is this: your friendships need to be healthy in a way where you feel good and the exchanges are mutual and reciprocal, and it's an equal playing field where you guys can all have fun together, because that's what it's about. Friendship is about support, and it's about being there. It's about having somebody that you care about and can have fun with, but also rely upon. And there's different parameters for friendship, so maybe your ideas of what you expect these relationships and friendships to be may be different from how they view it. If you guys are just hanging out, having fun, picking up a game or two, or doing something or activity together, that's one thing. But if you're looking for a meaningful friendship where you actually have, a confidant, where you can talk about your problems and stuff, the stuff that's getting you down, then maybe the level of friendship needs to go in a different categorical box. And that's how you can find your happiness, because now you're not having to people please. You can still be your authentic self, good times and bad times, highs and lows, and everything, and still have a really good friend that you can count on. And that's the difference. So I hope that helps. Maybe you just need to take a step back and clarify the situation so you're not people pleasing to have friends, and you can actually have the fulfillment work in your favor to actually have the friendship so it can actually be harmonious for your life. So if that doesn't quite cover it, write me back, hit me up again, and I'll answer it again, and maybe in a more extensive way. And for those of you watching, if you have a question that you want to be turned into a video, hit me up on social media, and I can help you out, and maybe your video will be next. I'm Stacey, Kumagai, Linkologist, here to help you link your life. Please be sure to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Linkronicity, blogspot.com, and go to Linkronicity.com for private coaching sessions. I hope you have a wonderful day, and that your friendships are mutually beneficial, reciprocal, and fulfilling.